So it shows up as being green because their population is condensed into a small space. Population is kind of small, but everybody just kind of lives in the same spot, right? And then
Yeah,
over in St.
people.
John, sorry, in Newfoundland. Okay, so it's all the capital cities and major cities in the provinces that have the big distribution.
There's Charlottetown and Summerside, and all the cows. Ice cream.
Oh, all right, so I just hit the wrong button. Just one sec.
Oh, you unshared your
Yeah,
screen?
there we go. Sorry about that. All right, so
Yeah.
again, Canada's population is mostly distributed into the cities. Okay. What would we say that Canada's population distribution pattern is?
Most of the population is distributed into the southern Ontario, as well as some of the other communities, like wherever Green is, or
Yep. And now, would you say, Alex, would you say that this population distribution is like well organized? Is it
no, it's
clustered?
not
Is
organized.
it
It's way
sporadic?
too clustered.
Yeah, I would say clustered, right? And that cluster again would be organized into like the cities and stuff. Okay. Now it also says how far are most Canadians from our southern border, and why is this? Okay, so the southern border, right, is this down here. Okay, so do you notice that a lot of our population is close to the southern border? Why is that?
It's warmer there, and more resources, and also in the north,
Yeah,
it's also very rocky.
yeah. So it would be difficult to grow potentially. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so the population, okay, is definitely moving, where it might be warmer. Access to the US is probably important to the USA, okay? Because they probably want to sell things or have the ability to market there as well. Okay. And then once that starts, right, that's where work and things are going to be, right? So people are going to end up following that trend. Okay, so even in earlier days, like our in like the 50s and before, okay, people were probably looking for farmland and areas where they could, grow crops and things like that, raise animals. So warm would be important. The types of soils and things that are there would be important. And like Alex just said, the further north you move, the terrain starts to change. Okay, we get elevation changes that include having more rock. It gets colder. Okay. And then what happened, of course, was we started building cities. Okay, and those cities kind of followed the same pattern. They wanted to be close to the United States for access to different markets to sell and trade products. They wanted it to be warmer. They still needed access to land that they could grow things. Okay, so cities ended up kind of following a similar pattern, and then you get all the population moving there. Okay, all right. So let's see. Okay. So it says using population distribution to identify needs, okay, what a city needs. So here is a transit expansion and population density. So when we talk about a transit expansion, okay, so Ottawa is going through one of those with the train system, okay, but transit is a way to transport a population, okay, so whether it be bus or whether it be train. Okay. In this case, they have an existing subway system, which is in dark blue. Okay, the dark blue, so it's kind of this line here. Okay, is dark. And there's also some dark this way by the looks of it. Okay, but they want to propose a subway expansion. Okay, which is in a lighter blue color. Okay, so the lighter blue is up. There's some more lighter blue up here. Okay. Yeah, and why? There's also buses and different things. So what happens when you're looking at something like this is you're looking at how dense the population is, the people. Okay, so you can see in red it's incredibly dense. Okay, so having a line through the red is important because those people are likely to need transportation. You're also looking at the areas in pink and yellow as places that you can better help, okay, by supporting different transit. Okay, so you want to make sure, that areas that are in yellow and pink are supported by public transit. Okay, because that might alleviate some of the pressure in the red. Okay, it would make it more convenient for some of the people to move out into some of the other areas.
I don't see them. I don't see them.
All right. Okay, so that's just an idea. The another population density. Okay, so this is for roads. Okay, so this is London, Ontario. Okay, so we've got different roads, okay, that are running there. Talks about the 400 highway series. That's like the Trans Canada. Okay, it shows one of the water systems. Okay. It says, how can knowing where people live help us to identify things they might need? Okay, so that's kind of our goal using population distribution. Okay, so where is public transit needed the most? So it's going to be needed in areas that have highest populations, right? Where are high density housing developments like condominiums and apartments needed the most? Okay, again, where you have your highest population. Which part of the city will need house-to-house garbage collection or mail delivery? Okay. All right. Let's see here. Okay, so what I want you to do is take a couple minutes. I want you to answer these questions. Okay, so I want you to find an example of a regular distribution, an irregular distribution, cluster distribution. Okay.
It's the oranges land.
Okay. So you give an example. I'm just going to take a moment, and I'm going to get my daughter a quick snack here. Okay, so I'll be right back.
Apple slices. Okay. Hey, Ahmed, how do you do that?
What are you doing? Oh, please. Is someone unmuted? Alex is here. Alex.
Dante put something in the chat.
Dante put some what?
What kind of what kind of it? What
Yeah,
kind
yeah, well, you don't have to read it.
are there? Well, I can show you some emoji. The poop emoji. Okay, I'm gonna slink.
Well, did you have a pick emoji?
I'm a chicken.
Chicken jockey.